Sundar Pichai runs Google. Satya Nadella runs Microsoft. Indra Nooyi ran PepsiCo for 12 years. Parag Agrawal ran Twitter. Shantanu Narayan runs Adobe. The current CEO of IBM, the current CEO of MasterCard, the current CEO of FedEx, all Indian. The current Vice President of the United States was born to an Indian mother. And yet, Indians make up just 1.4% of the global population. Something is happening here. And the real reason is far more interesting than you think. It is not luck. It is not nepotism. It is not even just education, though education is part of the story. What is happening with Indian immigrants is the result of a specific psychological profile forged over thousands of years of civilization, one that happens to be almost perfectly suited to the demands of the modern world. Start with selection pressure. Not every Indian leaves India. The ones who do are a self-selected group. They are the ones willing to uproot everything, move to a country where they know almost no one, navigate a foreign system in a second language, and build from nothing. That takes a specific kind of person. Research by economist Siddharth Jagtiani and others has shown that immigrant populations consistently outperform both their home country peers and the native-born population of their destination country, precisely because of this selection effect. You are not seeing average Indians. You are seeing the ones who were already wired to push. Then there is what psychologists call the immigrant bargain. First-generation immigrants carry a specific psychological burden. They are acutely aware that they left something behind, that people sacrificed for them to be here, and that failure is not just personal. It is a betrayal of everyone who believed in them. This burden, when channeled correctly, becomes extraordinary fuel. Studies on immigrant achievement consistently find that first-generation immigrants work longer hours, take fewer sick days, and persist longer in the face of failure than their native-born counterparts. The pressure that would break others becomes the pressure that builds them. But why Indians specifically? The answer lies partly in what India does to a person before they ever leave. Growing up in India means growing up inside one of the most competitive environments on earth. Over 1 million students sit the IIT entrance exam every year. Fewer than 1% get in. From childhood, the Indian middle class is trained to perform under pressure, to delay gratification, to treat education as survival, not lifestyle. Dr. Vibha Bhakna at the University of California has studied Indian American academic achievement extensively and found that this early conditioning creates what she calls a high-pressure, high-reward cognitive template, a mental framework that treats obstacles as problems to solve rather than reasons to stop. There is something else operating beneath all of this. Indian culture carries within it a deep philosophical tradition of long-term thinking. The concept of karma, stripped of its supernatural framing, is fundamentally a belief that your present actions compound into future outcomes. The concept of dharma is a framework for understanding your role and your duty in a larger system. These are not just religious ideas. For millions of Indians, they are operating psychological principles. A built-in orientation toward delayed reward, toward contribution to something larger than yourself, toward patience in the face of slow progress. The West spent centuries building productivity frameworks, goal-setting systems, and leadership philosophies around ideas that Indian civilization had already encoded into its culture thousands of years ago. And then there is community. Indian immigrants do not arrive and dissolve into individualism. They build networks. They refer each other for jobs. They mentor each other's children. They recreate in foreign cities the dense social fabric that India builds into you from birth. The joint family system, the extended caste and regional networks, the WhatsApp groups connecting diaspora communities across continents. These are not nostalgia. They are infrastructure. In Silicon Valley, this network effect has become so powerful that researchers at Duke University found that Indian immigrants had founded more engineering and technology companies than immigrants from the United Kingdom, China, Taiwan, and Japan combined. That is not a coincidence. That is a community that knows how to move together. So when you see the next Indian name at the top of a company you use every day, you are not seeing an accident. You are seeing the compounded result of selection pressure, psychological conditioning, ancient philosophical frameworks, and community infrastructure, all working together in a person who was already built to push before they ever got on the plane. They did not take over the world. They were always going to.